Welcome to IFPRI. I'm Joachim from Braun, Director General of IFPRI. I welcome you to the third climate change event, the IFPRI trilogy on climate change over the last 3 months. And this one is on adaptation and poverty. When we started this series of policy seminars, the objective was get climate change related issues to agriculture-related issues of climate change on the Copenhagen agenda. Get it on the policy debate agenda, because agriculture was not on the agenda. It's surprising to see how fast agendas can change. Agriculture is, in the meantime, on the agenda of the climate change debates. And I think the debates and the communications from IFPRI on these issues have helped to get there. Of course, not only IFPRI, lots of others have also felt there's something basically wrong if, on the one hand, the poorest of the poor, developing countries, small farmers, are deeply affected by the increased risks of climate change, and that secondly, the farming communities of the world would be excluded from the opportunities of carbon sequestration and biomass production, and on the other hand, agriculture being an important force of doing greenhouse gas emission-related damages, would be excluded from that side of the equation. So it simply didn't make sense to exclude agriculture because it is so messy to verify, and all these political vibrations around agriculture make it also messy to put it on the agenda. But that's what is a challenge for us in a research institute. Those of you here in town who follow the climate change debates in the US government know that climate change and agriculture has become one of the hottest topics in town. And I think it's good to note that there was considerable progress in the political discussions just the last few days to move the American Clean Energy and Security Act 2009 closer to a potentially successful vote. It's far too early to declare victory, but I think the wise and appropriate statements by the US Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Vilsack, who pointed at the opportunities in addressing the climate change issues from an agriculture perspective, and to include farmers into the opportunities has played an important role. So meaningful carbon offset trading market development for farmers is now, I think, a matter which is more and more widely accepted here in town. So against that backdrop of what's happening here in town, our agenda today is very much on the implications and what to do about climate change from a poor people and small farmer perspective. Adaptation and poverty need to be addressed, even if you are among those few who still believe climate change doesn't happen, or will not happen, or will somehow go away. Weather risks exist today. Climate stress is a fact, regardless of the causes of change or the mere fact of change. Drought kills more people in Africa than virtually all the major diseases. Floods cost billions. Heat undermines crop productivity. So including farmers in appropriate way, advancing technology, store water. The agenda is big, costly, but the returns to investments are very high, including investments for saving lives and making livelihoods better. I hope that at the end of the panel discussion today, we can come back to a few issues on what this means, what we are going to hear from our three outstanding panelists for the broader global agenda setting. First speaker will be Mahbub Hussain. Dr. Hussain is an internationally renowned development economist. He is the executive director of BRAC, one of the world's largest, if not the largest, South-based NGOs. BRAC worldwide, not only anymore in Bangladesh, is very much in touch with grassroots farmers. Its programs on the poorest, I think, are worldwide well known. Mahbub was, before that, head of the social science divisions of the International Rice Research Institute in the Philippines. And he was the Director General of Bangladesh's Institute of Development Studies, the BIDS. Mahbub, by the way, you may be happy to hear that a couple of days ago I signed a memorandum of understanding with BIDS. But of course, we signed much earlier one with BRAC. A year ago. So our relationships and your relationships to this institution are long-standing, not only through the sister center IFPRI relationships, but you also spent some time at IFPRI 22 years ago and did wonderful research here, which is unforgotten. I will introduce our other two panelists in a moment when they are on. Mahbub, I would like to call you to the podium, and we look forward to your presentation.